What's up, everybody? I am wearing a tactical great camouflage shirt. And you know why I'm doing that? Well, that's because we have the ultimate disguised best nitro in the world right here on the table, the Traxxas Revo. I'm not the only one that ever called it the best nitro. In fact, this particular truck since 2004 has won multiple RC Car Action Top Truck of the Year award. And guess what? Military tactical greatness will meet nitro greatness. The only issue is right now, if I take the body off, you're going to see how greatness is actually made. It starts with putting the rest of the parts back onto this Revo. Now this, in fact, is gonna be a little bit interesting for me. I have the parts here on a paper plate. I want to talk a little bit about the history of the Revo before I begin going through what happened, what went down, and why my shirt over here always has a little crink. I don't think real military grade hardware does that. Do you? I don't think so. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, 2004 Traxxas Revo with the 2.5R Traxxas racing engine. I had one of these when they were brand new, and compared to basically every other nitro I had at the time, this was truly revolutionary. This is not my first Revo video, and I guarantee you this is probably not your first Revo video that you're watching, but every single project that I feel is video worthy, I learned something from. And this one, in fact, was literally a learning experience. Let's discuss the story behind this nitro. As my good buddy who so graciously sent over this Revo to the channel, John Hensley, says, every nitro has a story, and this one is no different. Now, the story has led me to having parts on a plate, and if you have a keen eye, I think you should be able to spot the issue right now. But I'm going to get into that in a little bit. 2004 Traxxas Revo special features. We had dual steering servos, pretty much unheard of at the time. Inboard aluminum oil-filled GTR shocks. Pushrod style suspension, which basically the goal is to protect the shocks themselves. If you ever had a T-Max or an E-Max, pretty much any RC where the shocks are mounted on the suspension arms, the most common issue, you hit something, you bend the shock shaft. On this one, the chances of you bending a shock shaft are basically close to zero. You have really tough push rods, really good suspension travel, beefy drive shafts known as the Revo spec. Everything is a rubber sealed all around, literally close to no slop in the drivetrain at all. And a chassis that looks like it's from 2001 Space Odyssey if you were watching that movie in the 70s. Today, it might look like The Matrix. I don't know. You let me know. Another intricate feature on this one is this Traxxas OptiDrive sensor. Considering this truck does have reverse via the original TQ3 radio with a real toggle for your reverse, people were worried that, well, if you're going forward and you shift the reverse, you're going to destroy the reverse gearing. In this case, the OptiDrive is a sensor unit also with a built-in low voltage system that is monitoring the movement of the gears inside. It will not let you shift to reverse if you are still moving forward. You have to first stop, then shift, and that also goes for shifting in the other gear as well. Now, this truck has a lot of other features. The electric start system, obviously, we are all familiar with that from, well, every single Traxxas Nitro had it at that time, and some people love it. Some people really pretend to not like it. But at the end of the day, it's a system that works, and it's a system that has been proven, tested, tough, and reliable. Look at that spur gear. Beefy Mod 1 gearing on that spur. You have reverse. Everything is clean on this chassis. Now, the issue is, have you spotted why the engine is disassembled? Now, some might think, well, Hybrid, maybe you were trying to be all tactical like your military shirt over there. Maybe you tried to clean it. but this was in fact a zero runner. I'm going to put in a bit of a clip here from the live stream I did on this Revo when I unboxed it. And I want you guys to take maybe about 2 minutes to see what went down. I was turning over the electric start. I had fuel in there, but it just would not turn on. And in fact, this electric start motor started smoking. Oh, look at that. It caught my screw right there at the bottom. Thank you, 2.5. Thank you, 2.5. So let's take a look at that clip. Be right back. Fire in the hole, maybe. Oh, I heard it. Oh, yeah, there's definitely smoke coming off of this. Let's try it again. I just need it to start a little bit. I loosened the plug about half a turn. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be gone over. You know, oftentimes these wires do get pinched easily. One more time, as my hands are basically brick right now. I'm going to need Melissa to make me a little bit of tea, please. So people want to know if I can bypass the electric system. Not without removing this and putting on a pull starter. There's no way to do that right now. Carb, engine has to be gone over, I think. I think at a bare minimum, that's probably what we need. Take this roadshow on the inside. Let me summarize. In the stream, basically couldn't get it running. You just saw that go down. I decided, hey, listen, I'm going to tear down this engine, maybe take a look at the carb. I checked the carb. The carb, in fact, is in a really good condition. Really nothing wrong with it. The dust boot is not broken. It seems to be functional. I checked it. There's definitely no leaks. High-speed needle tune was normal. Then I looked at, well, do we have a hole in the exhaust gasket? No, it looks pretty normal to me. Then I checked the fuel tank. Do we have any kind of leak from the tank? Answer is no. So then looked at the engine when I removed the cooling head. And guess what? I was narrowing down the issue. Let's take a quickie look inside there, though. It looks pretty normal. I don't see any major rust. I did put a little afterrun oil. Piston looks normal, although I do notice when I'm going there towards the top, I feel a real small amount of tension. Basically, it does not feel like there's any pinch at the top left. But who knows? A lot of these older engines, they'll still run, 50% okay, even with low pinch, low compression. Then I'm looking, hold on a second. Let me zoom in on this cooling head. Do you all see what I see right there? That is missing all of the shims that should be there. This leads me to believe, likely, somebody knew this engine had low compression and they tried the classic, let me remove all the shims and see what happens. I think all they achieved doing was overheating and smoking the electric start motor, because without any shims, you're essentially lowering down the head to the bottom. You're creating less space for combustion there in the engine. Likely that is what smoked this motor. Now, the good news is I have actually begun a process of sending a couple engines over to Traxxas for the Power Up program. And these are a couple junk engines, but take a look at this one. I have a junk 2.5R with the correct blue cooling head from the Revo. So what I'm going to do, I'm likely going to, oh yeah, that looks real bad inside. That's some bad carbon buildup. With the head protector, literally no rollovers on this. This is pretty rare. Think what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap this. I'm hoping that it has the shim. Likely it does. I doubt anybody ever disassembled this, but really, that is an issue I've really never come across when I've disassembled old RCs. And this is one of those things that you have to be real particular, you have to be careful, and you have to be diligent when you're repairing old Nitro cars. Now, the other day, I was, reading some comments, and people were saying, well, electric is easy. I mean, that kind of argument is kind of self-defeating. Do you guys like chicken parmesan? I sure do. Guess what's easier? Eating cereal. Why would you choose cereal over some great chicken parmesan? I personally would not, especially if you throw a little bit of that penne in there. What about penne vodka sauce? Way better than eating cardboard. You understand my analogy on electric versus nitro here? This is the penne vodka sauce, the chicken parm, whatever kind of great salad you want. Electrics are basically cardboard cereal. Let's take a look inside. I hope the shims are actually here, or else someone's gonna cry. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Don't tell me there's no shim here. Guys, there's legit no shim here either. Yeah, this is just the imprint of a shim. All right, it's no big deal. Yeah, this motor is completely toast. It's no big deal. I could still use the cooling head. Parts engine number 2, unscrewed. Please, let's hope for a shim in there. Finally, one of the correct copper shims. Let me go wash this, get it off, and get it applied smoothly to the other better condition 2.5R head. My dudes, this is, wow. You gotta give this video a hell yeah if you can. Please consider becoming a channel member. Help me make more nitros great again. Whether they are old or they are fresh out of the box, this channel treats every nitro and viewer with respect. New cooling head on the left over here. This is going to be sent in with the Traxxas power-up engines for spares. Got the shim. It looks to be relatively normal condition. I don't see anything obviously wrong with it. You know, this old cooling head, you could see signs of carbonization there, but I don't really see any major pitting on top. That means likely, well, this never threw a plug and never had any kind of metal in close contact with the top of that cooling head. So that should be okay. We put this back on, make sure it's relatively flat. It looks normal. Gonna use 3-in-1 oil for the rebuild. It's not really called a rebuild, more like a refresh at best. But really nothing wrong with this. I'll know as soon as I put the cooling head on whether we have any compression. That is gonna be the ultimate sign and ultimate test of, you know what? Whether I should add this to the pile for engines to send back to Traxxas. Now I know the head is on pretty good, the plug is on pretty good, copper washer is good. The goal is just to get it to run. But my first observation is we are low in the compression department. And that is why somebody removed the head shim from the head, because, well, that obviously would raise the compression. Then again, it also likely smoked the motor by overloading it. It's time to find out whether we got a runner. Wheels not on, body is off, but will it fire? First thing, I'm gonna prime it real good. Let's get close, make sure we see some fuel in this fuel line right there. Okay, it definitely flowed that fuel. I even saw some of it come out of the carb. Oh yeah, it is flooded. You see that right there? That carb is, all right, well, flooded halfway. I'm gonna use a glow driver for this. Somebody yell, fire in the hole. 1, 2, 3, fire in the hole. It's trying. Oh. We got a runner. That's already better than before. Gonna let her run a little bit. Seems good. Gonna lower the idle. Alright, idle is dropping as it should. That's a good sign. Alright, so far, that is a real good idle. Needs to run a little while, let the engine heat up. I'll know whether it's toast or not. But the smoke coming out is nice and rich, baby. Nitro gang. I gave it some throttle. RPM is settling down. That's a good sign. Going to lean out the low-speed needle. All right. Idle seems stable. Guys, I mean, it hasn't shut down at all. Can't kill a Nitro. Another Nitro has been saved from the trash bin. And guys, the Traxxas Revo, you're looking at it right here. $599, you know, prices on everything recently went up. Nothing you could do about that. But what I will say is, you could still get a brand new Revo, and this in fact is the much better 3.3 version with some significant upgrades like the 3.3 racing engine. We also have an updated longer chassis, some much better electronics, waterproof of course, and you still have the reverse the OptiDrive system and the way more modern Traxxas TQI radio. This, people say, I don't know if it's true or not, honestly, that the Revo is going to be cut, it's going to be discontinued. All I know is right now, you could still place an order, click the link in the description to this video, pick up a Revo, and go yell 2-speed baby. If you get stuck, hit that reverse with that OptiDrive. You're gonna be happy, you're gonna be fine. All I know is the Revo is still here, and I still highly recommend it. As for me, obviously, I will be putting the wheels on the one I had in this video and giving it a full test run in a future video. My dudes and a couple women out there watching, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content and consider becoming a channel member. This way, I will get more Nitros for the channel, repair them, restore them, and put them back in a Nitro circulation. Because at the end of the day, these things are as valuable as coins from the Roman Empire. See you all in the next one.
It all started with an HPR racing RS4 and it will never end. It does not matter if the electric is a giant x-maxx hybrid, only cares about Nitro running rich and loud. Can he get a hell yeah?